I'm a 29-year-old woman, about to get married to the love of my life, and everything's been going great. I've been planning this wedding for months with my fiancé 27F, and we were both super excited about it. The venue, the dress, the caterers, everything was falling into place. My family was on board, and we'd even managed to get a couple of the really difficult relatives to RSVP. I felt like everything was finally coming together after all the craziness leading up to it. But that was before I had the conversation with my dad 55M. We've always had a bit of a complicated relationship, to say the least. He's never been the emotional type, and growing up, he was always distant. He'd compare me to my older sister, who passed away when I was 16, and it was like I could never live up to her memory. After her death, things just never really got back to normal. My dad didn't know how to be a father without her, and I didn't know how to get his attention without feeling like I was taking her place. It's hard to explain, but it's like we've never really been on the same page. Anyway, when I told him about the wedding, his reaction was weird. He seemed happy, or at least he acted like it. There wasn't the excitement you'd expect, though. No, I'm so proud of you, or this is the happiest day of my life. It was more like he nodded, gave a vague smile, and just went on about his day. Typical dad stuff. A few weeks before the wedding, he called me. He told me he'd be bringing someone special with him, and that I should save a seat for her. At first, I thought he was talking about some new girlfriend, but no. He dropped a bombshell. He had adopted someone. A woman. In her late 20s, my age. Honestly, I didn't know how to process that. I didn't even know he'd been thinking about adopting anyone. I mean, we weren't exactly close, but if something like that had happened, I felt like I should have known. It felt odd, but I shrugged it off. Maybe it was just a phase. My dad was always doing these random things and then dropping them a few months later, so I thought, okay, whatever. But the closer we got to the wedding, the more things seemed to get strange. My dad was barely in touch. No calls, no updates, just radio silence. This was my big day, and he couldn't even check in. I thought that was a little off, but I was too wrapped up in the chaos of last-minute preparations to worry about it too much. Then came the day of the wedding. I had 1,000 things on my mind. The flower arrangements were running late, the caterer was calling me every 5 minutes, and my bridal party was scrambling to get everything together. My dad? Nowhere to be seen. Not a single call or text. The wedding was hours away, and I hadn't heard from him. But I didn't want to panic. I told myself he'd show up. He had to, right? The ceremony was about to start, and I was waiting in the back, trying to gather my thoughts, when I saw him. My dad walking in with this woman, the one he had adopted. I froze. My stomach dropped. But what really got to me was what happened next. My dad walked straight to the front of the room, right to where my sister's old seat was. My late sister, the one I could never live up to, the one who had always been in the spotlight, had her seat saved for special occasions. My dad had this seat reserved for her at family events, and it had been left empty ever since she passed away. But that day, he didn't just walk to the seat, he sat her down in it. The new daughter. Like it was nothing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My heart was racing. What was going on? Was I seeing things? I walked up to my dad, trying to hold it together, but I could barely speak. I asked him, "What is this? Why is she sitting there?" And he said, with a straight face, "This is my daughter now. She's going to take your place." I don't think I've ever felt so blindsided in my life. My own father, in front of my entire family, was acting like I didn't matter anymore. Like I was the one who didn't belong at my own wedding. My fiancé looked at me with wide eyes. She was shocked too, and honestly, I think it hit her harder than me. She started pulling me aside, whispering that maybe we should just call the whole thing off. The tension in the